It's one of the most troubling questions people ask, whether in deep suffering or just watching the nightly news. If God is truly good, why does he allow evil and suffering? It's not just a theological question, it's personal. It's the question behind the tears of a child, the outcry in war zones, the anguish of watching a loved one fade in a hospital bed. But instead of avoiding this question, Scripture invites us to press in. Let's explore this mystery, not to give a shallow answer, but to uncover a deeper hope. Let's start with the obvious. Evil is real. There's the natural kind, disease, disasters. Paul describes it in Romans 8:22. For we know that the whole creation groans and labors with birth pangs together until now. Tsunamis don't ask permission. Cancer doesn't check if you're a Christian. Viruses don't respect borders. But there's also moral evil, the kind we commit. Genesis 6:5 says, "Every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time." From envy to genocide. It's not just out there, it's in us. Then there's supernatural evil. Yes, Scripture speaks clearly of spiritual forces, Satan and his demons, working deception and destruction. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, "We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against spiritual hosts of wickedness." And let's not forget the eternal consequence, hell itself, a place where evil is finally and eternally quarantined. Evil exists. It's personal. It's systemic. It's cosmic. Now, here's the next non-negotiable. God exists, and he's not confused or surprised by anything. Psalm 103:19 declares, "The Lord has established his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom rules over all." Not some, all. He is holy, so he doesn't sin. He is wise, so he never makes a mistake. And he is sovereign, he's never out of control. Even the evil around us is not beyond his hand. Isaiah 45:7 says, "I form the light and create darkness. I bring prosperity and create disaster. I, the Lord, do all these things." Now let's pause. That doesn't mean God does evil. Scripture's clear. He is light, and in him is no darkness at all. 1 John 1:5. But it does mean that God, in his sovereignty, ordains all things, including evil, for his purposes. Let's be honest. This is where people struggle. If God is in control, then isn't he responsible for evil? Here's the tension. God wills evil to exist, but he is not the author of evil. James 1:13 puts it plainly. God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. So how can he will it without causing it? Think of it like this. A playwright writes a tragedy. The villain lies, betrays, and murders. But the author is not the villain. The author writes it to reveal something greater in the story. Justice, redemption, mercy. In a similar way, God permits evil, not as a passive observer, but with a purpose deeper than we often see. Now comes the heart of it. Why would a good God allow a world where evil exists? To display his glory. All of it. His justice, his mercy, his power, his grace. You see, without evil, we would never know mercy. Without judgment, we wouldn't understand grace. Without darkness, the light of Christ would never shine so brightly. Think of the cross. The greatest evil in history was the murder of the Son of God. And yet, it was also the greatest good. Acts 2:23 says Jesus was delivered up according to the definite plan and foreknowledge of God. What man meant for evil, God meant for good. Here's the hope we cling to. Evil has an expiration date. Revelation 21:4 gives us the promise. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain. The God who permits evil now will eliminate it forever in the age to come. We live in the middle of the story. We don't see the ending yet, but we trust the author. Until then, we remember. The Lord is not slow to fulfill his promise, but is patient, not wishing that any should perish. 2 Peter 3:9. So why does God allow evil? Not because he's weak, not because he's distant, but because in his infinite wisdom, he has chosen to write a story where grace triumphs over sin, light over darkness, life over death. The world may be broken, but it is not abandoned, and neither are you. Hold fast to this. The God who allows suffering is the same God who entered it, bore it on his back, and rose again to conquer it. And one day soon, he will make all things new.